Good day, friends. We are going to have an interview with Shri Prakash Javadekar, former Minister of Education, Government of India, on profession and ethics. I am CA Dr. Dilip Satbhai. Integrity, objectivity, confidentiality and professionalism are the cornerstones of any profession, particularly for a chartered accountant in practice. In this context, I had the privilege of interacting with studious and globally known intellectual and stalwart personality in India, Honorable Shri Prakash Javadekar, who is the former Minister of Education, Government of India, and sought his esteemed views and guidance on ethical practices in public life, the professional responsibilities of chartered accountants, and the expectations of the society from this respected profession. I introduce Prakash Javadekar.
Namaste.
Sir, my first question is, what are the expectations of the general public from chartered accountants, particularly from an ethical standpoint of view?
Ethics is the life of life, because without ethics, even trade and anything is bad. Mahatma Gandhi has said, unethical any practice is nothing but sin, paap. So this is what is the view of common public also. Particularly from chartered accountant, they expect 3-4 things. First is integrity. He should not divulge confidentiality. He should not divulge our details to anybody else and others' detail to us. That is first. Second is honesty. He must be well known of the studies and he has to study ever, because rules get changed every year. So he should advise us the best way. Otherwise, I have seen the cases where, because the concerned chartered accountant did not practice this ethically or honestly, finally the customer gets into trouble when ED and other enquiries start. So he has to be, as sir said, integrity, objectivity, confidentiality, professional competence, because it's a huge work now. With UPI, we are daily making 60 crore transactions. So this is one only aspect of it. So to measure all this and check all this, the green signature now is not possible voucher by voucher. So there are technologies and we have to use that. But basically, these are the basic cornerstones of ethics which everybody expects from his CA. And he also accepts or prefers CA who is well known for his integrity and confidentiality as well as professional standards.
Sir, my next question will be, whenever a fraud occurs in a company or organization, the auditor is often first to be blamed by management or by media, despite adherence to the assurance standards issued by the Institute of CA. Considering the large volume of transactions and the need to adopt sampling techniques, why do law enforcement authorities frequently register FIRs against auditors without even prima facie investigation?
No.
What is your opinion on this issue?
My opinion is very clear that world has seen very huge scams in Satyam, in other 3-4 areas, Xerox, Lehman and Harshad Mehta case. Harshad Mehta played on only one thing, because nobody was checking banknotes. That was the only thing he did it. Satyam's reports were bad, not only bad but untrue, false reports, because what was the fixed deposit and other things, they never checked or they fudged. So it was fudging. Lemon was an entirely different case, and Xerox also. They went out of business, and the firms which were big seven, two of them have disappeared. So this is how it happens. So it happens with all size of companies. So this is what is expected, and I think law enforcement agencies should not harass anybody unnecessarily, but they don't, because now with Bharat Nyaya Sanhita, it is justiciable, and courts are also very clear ki if there is a proof, prima facie proof against chartered accountants' involvement in the scam, they don't take action against the CA or keep him in jail. So this is, I think, is a fair practice, and accountable. After all, accountant has to be accountable. So whatever he signs, he has to be very clear. And I'll just say what we are signing. In annexures, there is a BSRB report, because I was environment minister, so I have known it that business responsibility, environmental work done by the companies is reported in that report. Last year, NSC did investigation and made a report, and they found 80% of the reports were either insufficient, wrong, or false. So if that happens and that becomes part of the annexure of the chartered accountant, people believe in chartered accountant's signature, and therefore he has to be very importantly ensure that everything follows ethics. There is no replacement for ethics, and he has to do ethical practice. Then there is tremendous scope world over.
Sir, in your view, what should be the core mandates defining ethical behavior for professionals?
I think the core mandate is already written much time and spoken many times. But the issue is finally you have to how to select a good man, good human being, and how to differentiate bad human being and good human being. That is the crux of the question. How to do that? After Modi came to power, there are many things which are done. 360-degree consultation. Consult, see his social media, what he is posting, what are his emotions, what are his way of thinking. Just inquire whether he has cases for signal breaking or anything, or that also will help you to gauge the person's integrity. Small ways but important ways. And third is, we have to also check from his seniors, from his juniors, from his colleagues. You get correct information if we talk to all these. So there has to be a method before granting CA degree. A test can be devised, a practical paper can be arranged, where the test of a good human being and bad human being gets clear. And there are new technologies available in psychology also. You can trap it, the intentions of the man. So that has to be imbibed in the chartered accountant profession, and not only chartered accountant profession. I think legal profession, cost accountant profession, the all professional aspects, architects, designers, everybody needs to be practicing the ethical practice. See, in Pune Corporation, only one road has remained intact for 50 years. That is Jangli Maharaj Road. That was built by a company, but now such companies do not get jobs, or even officials also don't prefer this kind of work. Completely flawless work. In national highways, Gadkari ji has tried his best to have very good quality roads all over, and therefore country is witnessing a tremendous change. I think these ethical values and ethical practices with tremendous amount of vigilance and oversight has to be done, then only you will get a correct person to be a chartered accountant.
Sir, do you believe that political influence or nature of government and public sector assignment tends to complicate the ethical responsibilities of chartered accountants?
No, I don't think, because RBI and CAG both are independently functioning, and they appoint major chartered accountants for various works of audit in banks and all other PSUs and other things. So it's a huge thing. Many people come to us and say that, please sir, recommend this firm. Ab you can't say no on the face, but I don't do that because this is unethical. And I know for sure that RBI last 10 years has tremendous ethical standards in selecting that thing, and there may be still one or two bad guys coming in, but even the government which gives that CAG again is an independent institute. It is not a government institute. Government only administers, but they are independent, constitutional arrangement, and therefore CAG also appoints with due care. And that is why I don't think that government go to the details of at the level of chartered accountant, and for they impress the firm that you show this more profit in this company. That I have not seen that happening, because I was member of parliament for 16 years, and every time CAG reports come for the inspection of the and submitted to the house, which are discussed in the select committees. So that is where we have found that never this kind of intervention has happened.
Sir, in every field, be it a business, profession, politics, there exists a small fraction of individuals who do not adhere to ethical norms, often ranging in between 2% to 5%. Why then, in your opinion, does the chartered accountancy profession in particular attract disproportionate criticism from political leaders and general public?
No, nobody is, no, I have not heard chartered accountants as a profession being criticized. No, but when we see large cases of money laundering, so there are more enterprising some CAs who show the way how to dupe the government, the country and everything, and they come out with various solutions. So these shortcut solutions is really what should trouble the institute, and that should be very important, that it has to be very clear that such practices should be punished rigorously. And therefore, I think that this kind of practices has to be discredited, and very tough action. See, what happens is, if Chartered Accountant Institute, what it will do, it will withdraw his license. But that is not, that is the last final kriya karma you are doing. But before that, how to select good people in the profession is the real challenge. And if we think newly about this, then we'll get really ethical people into the profession, and then there will be less problem. But customers also, there are many customers who also want a shortcut. So that shortcut, chartered accountant must be firm enough to say that shortcuts will be very long paying cut for you, and so don't do this. That consultation, that advice is the duty of chartered accountant, and therefore I don't think that government intervenes anytime.
My last question, sir. Do you think artificial intelligence can assist in evaluating, ensuring compliance with ethical standards among professionals, including chartered accountants?
AI is definitely useful and must be used, because the volume of transaction has grown so much that now that old system of ticking each voucher, seeing each voucher and ticking it green with green pen, that is not possible. But then what is possible and what should be we care about? We should care about the software which we are developing. People are genuine in our country, they believe in jugaad, and therefore they come out with shortcuts with the software also. So that has to be tested again and again and again and improved time and again. Therefore, then only the ethical practice will be possible, and accountability will come, and no fudging will happen. Otherwise, I have seen many chartered accountants suggesting and also finally doing and signing fake companies, fake deposit transaction, non-existing transactions. What is this? And then fake GST invoices. So all this happens because the AI softwares we have to make for our country, which should be above the international standards, taking into consideration our reality, that here people believe in jugaad more. So that has to be corrected, and very serious work for development of softwares should happen. And then GST, I think GST is working well because the basic structure is good, IT structure is good. So that is how things should go ahead, and then only nobody should be able to misuse the AI software. That is our responsibility. That is the institute's responsibility. But
Any other view that you wish to
any
add?
other view is my two proposals. Basically, why we are not big four? There is only Deloitte, Ernst and Young's, KPMG, and PwC. Why only four? We must have international brand. Now government has also allowed multidisciplinary practice firm partnerships, and because otherwise legal profession, even bar council has not passed that resolution. All institutes should open door. I'll just tell one example. In near Bombay IIT, there is another technical institute of national repute, very important institute. It is just wall in between, but that wall is made of such a cement that nobody can cross over. So there is no dialogue. I think Indian institutes also need to open up their mind, and they should cooperate, build multidisciplinary professional facilities India is thinking of having Olympics in India in 36. Which firm we should engage in India for this? Can somebody tell? No, because we have not created that capability in one firm. My picture is this, that and government has taken decision, and under Sanjeev Sanyal there are continuous process reforms happening in all departments. Now the circulars will be done only in January and July, not in between.
Astral direction.
So this is how many things are changing fast. But these changes, all institutes also change their own rules. So that is my first proposal. So allow, promote multidisciplinary professional firms with all capabilities who can build international brand. Today, our chartered accountants are partners of such people, such big firms. But that means you are not owner. You are getting service charges, what you are paying. And there are at least, I don't know the exact figure, but in 20% of these 4 big must be Indian professionals. So they are selling their talent and others are earning. Country will grow only when we own the innovation, when we own the ownership of it, and that ownership needs to be built around, and that is what is required in India. And so government also and must do further also, that we have to tell and consistently insist on World Bank and IMF to appoint such multi-speciality or multi-faculty, multidisciplinary firms to for the oversight of projects carried out by their funds in various developing nations. We are also done many FTAs, free trade agreements. So FTAs are important. Those transactions also need oversight. That oversight can be built by such Indian brands. We have to start from first step, and I am very sure our professionals are so competent that within 5 years, India will also have one big international brand, and then we'll go much further. The way Zoho practically is the first Indian innovation, and it has multi aspects covered into it. It is not just it's not alternative to WhatsApp. It is alternative to many things, even Gmail and many things. So all the big companies in digital market are afraid of what such innovation such innovations will take India ahead. And I think your deliberations will definitely should discuss all these possibilities in details. Be ready for the change, be ready for the challenge, and aspire to be big, because that is the world how it will go on for next 50 years.
Thank you, sir, for your lucid points of observation. Thanks a lot.
Yes, thank you.